Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fortified Life podcast, where we are passionate about developing a dependency on Jesus and the marketplace. I'm your host, Jason Davis, aka Mr. Fortify. Every week, we have the opportunity to bring on all types of guests, coaches, authors, speakers, practitioners who are also passionate about putting God back in business. Folks, you've been listening to us for a long time. You know that we have a series called Tools and Resources. What are applications or software or tool sets that can help you immediately in your day-to-day life or business? And I'm really excited for our guest today because we're going to unpack the online and digital space. Let me introduce our guest for today. Cheryl Cooper is a visionary leader at the crossroads of AI, business strategy, and mindful entrepreneurship. With over 25 years in IT consulting, project management, and digital transformation, Cheryl has assisted Fortune 500 companies, startups, and entrepreneurs leverage cutting edge technology to streamline operations, optimize decision making, and grow their business. She's the founder of CLC Consulting Group. She specializes in integrating AI powered automation, sales funnels, and business optimization strategies to help entrepreneurs and organizations accelerate their growth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fortified Life podcast. Cheryl Cooper. Cheryl, what's going on?
Thank you, Jason. And you see, I just did a whole bunch of flipping around. Sorry for the last minute adjustment, but I wanted to make
No,
sure
it's all good.
I got the Yeti in. I'm really super excited about being here and talking to Mr. Fortified on your podcast. It's exciting times. There's so many great things going on in the world, especially in this creator economy. I'm just delighted to be here with you.
Absolutely. Cheryl, let's dive right in. And folks, Cheryl and I had a wonderful conversation. We met at an event at church, a business expo. And when I learned just the wealth of expertise that she had, I said, hey, I got to bring you on the show. And so today we're going to talk about the digital landscape. And one area of expertise that you have, Cheryl, is Kajabi, the digital platform. Maybe take a minute and let's take a step back. Cheryl, what is Kajabi and what's its marketplace position for how they go about serving the needs of business owners?
So Kajabi is a SaaS platform, which means that it's on in the cloud, and it focuses on primarily creating opportunities for people to bring online courses into flow. It is one of the grandfathers, if not the grandfather, of building online courses. But now it has expanded, or several years ago, it expanded to becoming what I call an all in one platform. So inside of Kajabi, you can do email marketing, website design, course creation. That's what it was designed for. Landing pages, podcasting, community, coaching, sales funnels, and so much more. And it's an ideal platform for people that are looking to put their information out there and share their learned experiences to empower other people to live and flourish in the creator economy, which is right now stated to be around 352 billion was the last statistic I looked at, and growing quickly with the onset of AI.
Cheryl, I listen, folks. She said with a billion with a B,
Bill,
352 billion. And so, Cheryl, I want to bring this part of the conversation to you. So, during COVID, during the pandemic, there were obviously are many types of businesses. Some you either offer a good, you offer a product or a service, and COVID caught a lot of people off guard with their business strategy. So, to your point about the creator economy or offering information and expertise, talk about where things have shifted. Like maybe as an example, you have a beautician, someone that does hairstylist, or they do nails, and now they want to develop an additional stream of income. And so when they get approached with, hey, have you ever considered or thought about not just doing hair, but maybe pulling some of that knowledge out of your head into maybe a different offering. So as we look ahead at that market position, 352 billion, Cheryl, just what have you seen out there as far as maybe a business that hadn't traditionally thought about having a course or digital product? What have you seen?
You brought up a perfect example because in our community, those are the foundations of so many things that Black entrepreneurship was created from. I had a friend just quote to me the other day, as we came out of slavery, I don't want to get too deep on that, but there were preachers, morticians, beauticians, and one other one that I cannot think of right now. And that's how we started the basis of some of our entrepreneurship journey right after slavery because we couldn't get jobs. For the beautician or the stylist, one of the great ways to start using a system like Kajabi is to teach us how to do our own hair, how to care for our hair, bring in a strategy that breaks down the cellular level of the care of our hair, the structure, the nap of it, all of those things so that we can learn how to truly take care of our hair on our own. And then in module 2 or 3, teach us how to style it. Show some products they could, inside of the course that they created, they could even do brand recognition and build an ecosystem for themselves through that and market additional products so that they're making money online through the course and then online through multiple streams of income by offering different products. You can
So
build
good.
all kinds of sales funnels through that, right?
I love
And
it.
then even bring a community into it, right? Because after COVID, many of us have desires to be a part of a community so that we're hanging out with like-minded people, even as we're working at home. We need it. We need that human connection in a way that was different than before. So many of us were in lockdown, potentially alone, and lost that connection. And now is an opportunity to rebuild it, or the last couple of years, to rebuild it, and you can even do it online.
Absolutely. That connection part is a huge piece, not just in business, but even creating communities for a customer base. Cheryl, thank you for breaking that down for us. Cheryl, I think some business owners, they find themselves in this position, hey, you need to leverage these digital products. So they hear about other rival platforms to Kajabi. They've been told, hey, you need to go check out Teachable or Thinkific or Kartra. And I've heard you say earlier that Kajabi was the OG. Eh, As you're guiding business owners, what would you say to the person that comes to you, hey, Cheryl, I'm looking at this and you're telling me Kajabi, like, why influence them to go in that direction?
Typically, Jason, up until a day or two ago, I would say because Kajabi is one of the most stable
Mm,
that there are because it's got a solid foundation in it. It's made many people millionaires. It's got thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people on the platform. So we know that it works and it will not break. And again, it's IT. So it's potential that it will break. I won't say that it
right.
will never break. And there's always hiccups. But Kajabi is constantly evolving and adding additional functionality into the system. And because of that stability and the fact that they're always forward thinking, that's my primary reason with staying with Kajabi. Now, I'm a part of the Maxwell team, which is a leadership development team, and they are starting to incorporate Go High Level. And a lot of people come to me asking me about Go High Level. I am not promoting Go High Level because I have not put my hands or I haven't touched it, but I do see that might be one of the next up and coming stable platforms that many people are going to use. And ultimately, when you're out there and deciding that you're going to put your learned knowledge somewhere, you want to find something that is stable
Yeah.
so that you don't have to go back and rebuild. Because when we build these things, With the use of AI, it is a lot simpler now. But when we build them, you want them to be built to last. And then my other thing is, for me, as a person with an IT experience, Kajabi is a place to build that's fairly easy to build upon. Fill in the blank, copy, paste, and you don't have to worry about plugins. Pick a template, fill in the blanks, and then when you get to zhuzhing it up, then that's where it gets a lot more complicated. But no plugins. And for me, that was why I made the transition from WordPress into Kajabi, that and the all-in-one platform.
Cheryl, you made me think about another question here. I know a lot of times we hear terminology like online business and whatnot, but COVID kind of proved, hey, whether you have brick and mortar or you're already digital, it just needs to become a way of life. So, in your opinion, would you say that there's a type of business owner or a type of business that benefits more from Kajabi versus other platforms? Or what are your thoughts on that? Is there a specific niche where you can pick up and go, or is it really, let's take a look at your systems, let's take a look at the value proposition, and there's a way forward? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like Kajabi is more of a service-based platform.
Gotcha.
Coaches, speakers, trainers, teachers, healers, preachers. Do we still say preachers? Ministers, things that will be easy to scale worldwide
Mm,
without having to deliver a physical product.
got it.
A physical product. I don't find that it's easy to. I had a couple of clients that were doing physical products, and then you have to go and you can do the plugins like from Etsy or Zappum or whatever, but Kajabi as a resource that you want to just stay focused in is service-based strong.
Got it.
Service-based strong.
Cheryl, you're getting me excited here. I wanted to ask you, is there a particular success story? You don't have to name names or businesses, but is there a success story that is on the top of your head that you're really excited or passionate about, that, man, as soon as this person or business implemented and integrated Kajabi, they just really took off?
Not one that I want to mention from the past, but I've got one that's coming up that is fire.
Sure.
Fire. Half of the world right now, this is very female, but half of the world right now is in menopause. At least half of the world, if not more. And my current client, we're building a place called My Sister's Advocate. And it is all about perimenopause and caretaking. Because many of us are in that age group that we're between, I don't know if it's called a sandwich economy or something like that, but we're between the ages of leading up to or already in menopause and then having to be a caregiver to our aging families. And this young lady is amazing. Her knowledge, she comes from a RN background, she's clinical, she's as well as alternative medicine. It's just a full plethora of knowledge that she brings from her heart, as well as knowledge that is backed by education and experience. It's just going to be amazing. So it's going to have the two sides of personal care on the perimenopause side, and then the care the care for the caregivers. It's amazing.
Wow. I know that's going to be very beneficial and valuable to a lot of women out there for sure, Cheryl. Cheryl, when we were talking offline, we were talking about AI as well. It's all the rage right now. Some people, Cheryl, like yourself, if you've been keeping up, it's like, what do you mean? I've always been in the AI space, but maybe it's hitting kind of the mainstream now. Is there any, I'll ask about Kajabi first, and then we'll just talk shop generally about AI trends. But what have you seen from Kajabi that as they start to integrate more AI into their offering? Is there anything on the horizon that you see in the platform?
Everything,
Wow.
everything. They've implemented AI in one of their core functionalities, which is course building. You can go into Kajabi and give it a title of what you want to do. You put in a little small segment of what it is that you're thinking of. For example, if I want to build a sales funnel course, I would go in and I would say, here's what I want to do. Let's title it Sales Funnels for Successful Online Entrepreneurs. Give us a foundation for that. You plug that information in, you put the amount that you want to pay for it, you give it the little bit of title, and you push it go. Being hype with that, yeah, a little bit more to it. You push go, and it builds out the entire course for you, including every module, titles, details, and all of that, as well as a sales page.
Wow.
All of that, of course, needs to be tweaked and put into your own voice, and you put in your own spin on it. But it gives you such an amazing foundation to start from. If you're tech savvy, you can just take it and go from there. If you're not tech savvy, then you can hire an expert like me to come in and assist you versus building it for you, which saves you a lot of money.
Yeah, I love it. Cheryl, you just answered a question for me. I know all the listeners or our audience on YouTube. I was one of the things I was going to ask, do you help with implementation? You help map it out, but you just said it yourself. So staying with that, Cheryl, when you do that, the implementation, what is a session or what does that one-on-one look like when you're working with a client and they're more in the camp of, you know what, Cheryl, I don't really have the technical chops to do this. I have a vision of what I want to do and I'm good there, but building it, help a brother, help a sister out. What does that process look like?
It's funny you asked me that. My background in corporate America, my favorite role was always business analyst
Mm,
and the requirements gathering segment of that. So I brought that forward into my business and I do it all the time. We sit down and we do a one-on-one session. Most of the time I call them like my VIP sessions. And we build out the strategy, whether it's starting with a mind map or if you already come with your ideas. Some people come to me already with their course outline ready to go. And then I'll run it through a conversation like, okay, are you sure about this? And then I'll teach about the sales funnel process. We have the lead magnet. Do we have the landing page? Do we have blah, 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 all of the things there. And a lot of the time I spend digging into understanding what they're teaching and making sure they know their target audience. Do they have their branding, meaning great photos, graphics? If they don't, how can we help them design that? Most of the time we use Canva to assist with that, but now I'm going to go to the other side of this. Now we can use AI to create graphics and then walk through the journey with them. Do you have your bio? What is on your contacts? What's your list? What's your blog? Do you have your email list in order? Is it growing? Is it new? Is it established? And all of those different steps. So I really use my corporate IT experience, business analyst, requirements gathering process, put it technically into a project type format, put most of that information into a storage facility of some type, some kind of cloud storage, and then we start to build.
wow.
I'm probably skipping some steps in there, but you get the gist of it.
Absolutely. Wow, folks. So Cheryl is a true partner. Yeah, everything she just laid out. And there's a little nugget you dropped in there, Cheryl, that people aren't paying attention to. Folks, the skills that whatever era of work you come from, 9 to 5 entrepreneurship, what I loved about what you just said, Cheryl, is you leveraged skill sets from a different time in your career and brought them forward because I hear this all the time. Somebody could be working in one particular industry and then they get called into another space. And a lot of times on paper, it's what does that have to do or when will I ever use this again? So thank you for highlighting how those skill sets were transferable to what you're doing now. So I didn't want people to miss that because a lot of people do.
It took me a minute to realize that. It did. Like on this entrepreneur journey, one of the biggest parts of it is mindset.
Mm,
It's taking that switch from corporate into what you're currently doing. And I was such in hustle mode
Mm.
that I failed to realize that I was already fully equipped. That's part of our God journey too. And many of the people that are doing the digital world or building in the creator economy are bringing forward their learned experiences, their experience from the workplace, and applying it. So when people talk about AI is going to make work go or make everything go away, I'm not in agreement with that. I'm just not. I think that we have so many skills. I think we get to deliver our skills in a different manner that does not necessarily require a whole lot of corporate activities. We'll talk about that another day.
No, that's good, folks. She's teasing a part two. So we'll have to bring Cheryl back. Cheryl, last question on Kajabi, then we'll get in a few AI topics before we go. What feature of Kajabi is a gold mine that people really aren't taking advantage of?
Using Kajabi. Slack. I just did an Instagram post on that
Okay.
because I bet there are hundreds of thousands of people that have got in on a special because they're always doing specials. They're very good at doing a fire sale type experience.
Gotcha.
And you know that you have a thing that you want to put forward. And so you're like, let me get it while it's 3 for 99, three months for $99. And you'll get in on it and then don't use it. And then the other thing that I think is important is to use the Kajabi experts. And I'm not pitching that to sell myself. People get stuck because they're not tech savvy. And so they go into Kajabi and start to try and use it and then give up when all you need maybe is an hour or two with the tech that is expert, that is tech savvy in Kajabi, and it'll propel you forward with quickness. So the course creation is the thing that it's all about, but I love the ability to use the landing pages.
That's good. That's good. Cheryl, before we go, I know we've been trying to hold it off, and it'll probably have to be a whole other conversation, but I did want to touch on AI a little bit before we wrap. A lot of things going on in this space. Seems like things are changing by the day. But Cheryl, we've got two buckets, if you will, that have emerged. We've got the large language models, a Chat GPT, a Gemini, a Claude, and then you've got the agentic AI agents, all the rage. So if you could just maybe, I gave some examples of the tools, but some people are still like, what the heck is a large language model or an agent? If you could, in your opinion, how would you define them? And then what are you noticing with some of the large language models and also with agents? How are people starting to incorporate them into their day-to-day business?
Okay, so large language models, I got to write it out. It's starting to be a part of our everyday existence, right? Almost everyone I know is familiar with or has some knowledge around ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you can go and use it for work or for your personal life. So you could do meal planning or vacation planning, anything like that to bring it into your personal life. I know some people that are using it as their personal therapist, strategies for growing their families and organizing the house, taking care of their health, setting up physical workout plans and things of that nature. I tend to use the large language models for business every single day, building landing pages, websites, course content creation, tripwires, all things online business. I use ChatGPT, Claude, Galaxy AI, and Perplexity. That's my tech stack that I use on a fairly regular basis. Oh, no, and one of my favorites is Notebook LM. Notebook LM is like the notebook that you need, your SOPs, anything like that. You can just start to build those. And then it's also a knowledge base if you choose to do it. So I won't go too deep on that. Then on the agentic side, I'm not deep in that yet. I'm just starting to tap into it. The only tool that I am very slightly familiar with is N8.
Got
And
it.
that is one that you can go in and start to build your own agents. And when we talk about an agent, it's really like a taskmaster. Somebody, it's a tool that you can go out and get to do some of the work for you inside of your company that you don't have the time to do. For example, you could build a program to go and read and decipher through your emails and only pull out the ones that are most important to you,
Got it.
or answer your telephones and filter through the calls that you want to have and not have, and then also some lead generation and things of that nature. But again, I'm working with that solopreneur or the executives that are learning how to use the large language models versus the innate clientic side. But there's also this whole new flare up of things happening with vibe language,
Mm.
vibe AI, which is a combination of the two of them. For those of us that are not Python coders, we can go in and use some of this vibe coding or vibe AI to create our own apps and things like that. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be really cool. So next time, I'll have more knowledge and more information on that.
I love it, Cheryl. We could nerd out for another 3 hours, I'm sure. But folks, we've got to let Cheryl go. We've got to let her continue making an impact in the marketplace. Cheryl, before we go, what is the best place for listeners to connect with you, your services, social media accounts? Where can they find things all Cheryl Cooper?
You can find things all Cheryl Cooper at the Cheryl Cooper. Everything is at the Cheryl Cooper, the TheCheryl And my website is there. And right now I'm doing a really cool special on the VIP AI sessions, AI VIP sessions. And people that, oh, I don't know if this one will go out before then, but people that mention this when you book a time with me, I'll give you the discount and the free online course that's going with it, which is my Elevate and Automate, which is a sales funnel online course.
Wow, that's awesome. Folks, you heard it directly from the Cheryl Cooper. I love that. That gave me so many other different ideas, Cheryl.
Oh my God. If you only knew what it took for my coach to get me to put the on the front, that was a very deep mindset situation.
Understood. Cheryl, I just want to thank you for hanging out with us today on the Fortified Life on this tools and resources edition. You've given us a lot of background and food for thought about Kajabi, and even talked about the different trends going on in the online digital space and even working with AI. So, folks, we're definitely going to bring Cheryl back, just like this. The Avengers said they will return in the next
Oh,
movie. Cheryl will be back for another episode. So stay on the lookout. You're going to see her again. But Cheryl, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show.
thank you, Jason. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Folks, you know how we leave things. Don't compartmentalize your faith and the marketplace. And from the boardroom to the bathroom, God is with you. We'll see you next time on the Fortified Life podcast.